That was a $60,000 video.
A $60,000 video. And the platform probably costs, I don't know what it is, $800 a year or something. Really small number. It's no idea the amount of time that's involved in getting that telemarketing team up.
So that's a lot of time spent in attracting the right people and then deciding which ones fit your program.
Correct. Why are you giving me the opportunity? Yes. They said, you know what? We probably had 9 agents texting us, calling us, even knocking on our door. But we saw your video and we connected and we identified with who you are.
So I promise you we're just whale watching. We have no alcohol, right? Nothing in our hands. Chris, you prospect, right?
I do. Prospect every single day.
How long have you been prospecting?
Every day for about 8 to 9 years.
Wow. 8 years of getting cursed out, huh?
Yeah. And it's perfectly fine. It's part of the job.
What's the worst thing that's ever happened to you?
For me, the most part is just, again, the screaming, the cursing at me. But some people will actually ask to meet me.
To fight? To
fight. Actually, they said they want to kick my ass. Like to actually fight.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I mean, Miami's a little bit of an aggressive market. Just I'm sure it's Dallas, maybe just a little bit.
No,
aggressive.
they're super nice in Dallas. That never happened.
Really?
Can you imagine Austin? Shout out Austin. I'm the bodybuilder. Someone said that's a him and he shows up.
Right. Or it'd be even funnier is that the person on the other line sounds like Mike Tyson, like a little Mickey Mouse voice. Then you actually go to meet with the person and the guy's like a beast.
Like a huge guy. So what else has happened to you prospecting? What's your best story?
So my best story is I use BombBomb. This is not a BombBomb plug, nor are they paying me for this.
What is BombBomb for people who don't know?
So BombBomb is a video platform that you can send either by email or by text. And one of the pluses is the analytics. So, anyways, putting that geeky stuff to the side.
So it's you make a video and you send it to the person.
Correct. So it could be a prospect, your existing clients, whoever you want to send video to, just to be able to connect them.
And why do you use BombBomb versus like just a regular video?
Well, what I like the most about BombBomb is the analytics. Let's say, for example, I'm sending an email to my database, which let's say, for example, it's 1,000 people. With that email that I send them, you have the analytics, whatever links they're clicking on. So for example, if I send an email and I have a link on what's my homework, check out my Zillow profile, whatever links that are there, you can actually see which links they've been clicking on.
And if they clicked on it 4 times,
right,
that's your client, right?
And the story that I have is that there's this prospect. There was a lead that was given by a lead provider. I'm not sure if it was Fast Expert, Homelight, or whoever that it was. And I couldn't get a hold of this guy for 2 days. I called him and texted him probably 7-8 times. I said, let me throw the Hail Mary, right? Let me throw the Hail Mary. I'll send him a BombBomb video and see if the guy would be interested in my services. That evening that I sent the email, he opened the email 19 times. 19 times.
You got that listing signed.
Right. So I'm like thinking either he opened it himself or he forwarded it to other people. Like whatever he's doing, whatever it was. So the next morning, his wife called him, and she's like, I want to see you. So
they like the content.
They did. So I presented to the gentleman, his wife. I took the listing. It was a listing for about 1.9.
Just $2 million.
Right, just 2. So I did my presentation. At the end of my presentation, I did as I always do. I said, why did you give me this listing? Why are you giving me the opportunity? They said, you know what? We probably had 9 agents texting us, calling us, even knocking on our door. But we saw your video and we connected and we identified with who you are. We select this guy is a real person. This not just a message by text. Because you know what they just do? They send, I'll sell your house for 3%, sell it for 4%. I'll do this, I'll do that. He's like, but with you, you set yourself apart because we connected with that video and that's what got me that listing.
If for everyone watching, $2 million times 3%.
$60,000.
$60,000. That was a $60,000 video.
A $60,000 video. And the platform probably costs, I don't know what it is, $800 a year or something. Really small number.
Yeah.
So I probably have that, the dues for the service paid for the next 40 years.
You're not going to be prospecting for 40 years, Chris.
No, I'm not. That's definitely not the goal. And that's why we're here in Cabo.
Yeah.
Right?
That's an awesome story. So use BombBomb videos to connect genuinely with your audience. And do you call people like, you don't call under $1 million? Do you have, or you call everybody?
My first thing in the morning prospecting is just to the new expires and cancels.
Okay.
Then the remainder of my day is basically doing lead follow-up.
Okay. So that's a really important point for everyone watching. So you start your day with expireds. How long do you call expires before you switch your source?
It depends how many come out that day. Like for example, usually I have 10 to 15 expireds in the market that I specifically want. I don't call a whole lot of condos. I primarily focus on single family, so it's 10 to 15. Then from there I'll shift to the lead
So like an hour and a half, and then
maybe even 45 minutes, 30 to 45 minutes. The first of the month could be busy. There could be 100 on the first of the month.
Why is the first of the month the best day to call?
Because for some odd reason, that's when agents do their listing agreements. They do it to expire on the last day of the month, which I don't really get it. It expires when it expires.
Yeah.
For some reason, agents do it that way. The first of the month is usually busy. The 15th is another day. So the 15th could be maybe 70-75% of what's on the first. Instead of being 100, for example, it'd be like 60-70.
So we call expires the most on the first of the month because there's so many of them. There's an abundant source of leads. And then on the 15th, we call them a lot as well because there's also a good amount. What is another source that you're finding a lot of success with?
Well, what I've been working on for about the last 13, 14 months is a small telemarketing team. And with this telemarketing team, I'm able to make an absurd amount of contacts. Because what I've come to the realization is that the market's changing, and to reach my goals, I have to make a lot more contacts. But I get to the point of where I don't want to be on the phone for 14 hours, 16 hours a day to reach the contact goal that I have. So with these telemarketers, I can leverage and I can have probably 60 to 80 contacts per telemarketer.
Are these telemarketers humans or is it AI?
Not humans.
Now, why are you using humans versus AI?
For one, I feel they have a better grasp of being able to handle the objections. Because this is very time sensitive. A person gives you an objection, you have to respond very quick with a super specific response.
What if you could replace all these people with AI that has all of your objection handlers?
And we need to keep talking about that.
But we imagine in case of the people they make
love
their
it. That's
rules
good
for
content,
protected wills.
Okay, so let's talk about your telemarketers.
Years or more.
I've heard a lot of people that they want to start a team and they're like, oh, I'm just going to go out and get people from the Philippines and from Colombia. They're going to call for me. They're not having the success that you're having. Chris, what is the difference between you and some other people who have not been able to get the program off the ground?
Well, what I see is that most people have these telemarketing or have these ideas of having a telemarketing team. It's no ideal. The amount of time that's involved in getting that telemarketing team up. For one, in my market, it was extremely important that the telemarketers be bilingual. I have to speak Spanish. If they don't speak Spanish, it's going to be a difficulty. Probably half.
In your market, there was a lot of Spanish-speaking sellers.
Right. So half of the calls are probably Spanish-speaking.
Okay.
So it's super important for them to be Spanish-speaking. So that's one.
And you speak fluent Spanish?
I speak good enough Spanish.
Okay.
I speak good enough Spanish. I have Hispanic parents, but I was born in Boston.
Okay.
Raised in Miami, so my Spanish is good enough to where I can defend myself.
Do you role play in both Spanish and English?
I role play in both. Yes.
Okay.
So going back to your question about the telemarketers, one is people say, okay, I want to find the telemarketers, and once you find the right person, because the Philippines for me wasn't an option. I did know this, but half of 1% of Filipinos speak Spanish. So that market didn't work for me. So you have to find who's going to actually make these calls, and then you have to screen every single applicant, which I probably went through 200 applicants to find 4.
So that's a lot of time spent in attracting the right people and then deciding which ones fit your program.
Correct.
Okay.
Which ones are a good fit. So what I personally did is that I took on 4. I gave them a trial of a week. I said, at the end of the week, the top 2 are the ones that I'm going to keep.
I like that.
Right? So,
what movie does that remind me of? Will Smith, where he had to beat out everybody to get the job?
Yes, I know exactly what you're talking about. I don't remember, but I know what you're talking about.
But it sounds like you became that company. That's you.
Correct.
Okay, so you're hiring Will Smith.
Right.
Only Will Smith.
So I had 4 of them. At the end of 1 week, this is what's super interesting. At the end of 1 week, with those 4 telemarketers, I generated about 130 leads.
Wow.
In 1 week.
That's insane.
That's a lot of leads. I mean, back then my definition of a lead was very loose. I wasn't super strict what I considered to be a lead. Now the telemarketers are going from A to Z. Some argue with me if that's the right method or not. But I have them go from the initial call all the way to scheduling the listing appointment and pre-qualifying the buyer, the seller, to make sure that they're a good fit for what we can offer.
Wow, so they convert the lead, they pre-qualify the lead, and they confirm the appointment.
And plug it right into my calendar.
Yes, the Kardashians, the owner.
If you all would like to learn more about Chris's system,
Leonardo DiCaprio.
you can connect with him.
And
What's the best way to connect with you, Chris?
Well, on Instagram, my handle is at Chris Camacho Miami. Chris Camacho, Camacho spelled C-A-Macho.
Yes, Justin
So
Bieber.
Chris Camacho Miami.
Así es, amigos.
That's it there.
Chris Camacho Camacho.
Yes,
There you go.
Los artistas
Good job, brother.
increíble paraíso.